Hey everybody, I'm Jack Rowland and welcome back to In Too Deep. Well, the sequel to the Freedom March has come early. A little too early, I reckon. We just got announced with a 7-day snap lockdown, and with a snap lockdown comes a snap protest. It was a different vibe this time. It was a smaller crowd. I'd say 500 to 1,000 people. The proximity to the police was tighter. It was closer. It was a bit more tense. People were walking faster, and people were shorter and louder. As I said before, I did not attend in support of the protest, but I'm interested. I'm curious. It's not a normal time. Enjoy being a fly on the wall in the latest of the Melbourne COVID debate. And enjoy lockdown, everybody.
Is there a point to all this?
I think we're getting in too deep.
You don't apply.
Bad luck.
I have one speed, I have one gear. Go, 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 go.
I'll tell you when we're getting in too deep.
G'day mate, how you going? You wouldn't want to answer a few questions at all, would you?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, so what's going on tonight?
I guess it's a bit of a lockdown protest going on.
Sure. So what exactly is, what are you fired up or?
Yeah, I'm pretty fired up, man. I'm pretty fucking done with this shit.
What are you fired up about?
Man, I've been in uni for a whole year now, and I've basically made not one friend. I've not been able to do one in-person class, and it's just like, what am I doing with my life, man? Like, I just feel like it's just slipping away.
Man, that's sounds pretty frustrating.
Yeah.
What do you propose should happen?
I mean, at this point, I think 6 cases is not really a big deal. I mean, I think the government's being completely incompetent in ramping up the vaccination scheme. I mean, if anything,
I agree.
Get that off the ground. I mean, it's ridiculous. It's been going on for 6 months. Other countries like the US, which have got a much bigger population, are almost completely vaccinated, and we're, you know what I mean? We've got like 40%. I mean, I don't know what the exact rate is, but it's fuck all, which is why we're in this situation. So,
are you going to get vaccinated?
To get back to freedom, yes. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Awesome, mate. Thanks a lot. Have a good night.
Yeah, cheers.
G'day. Want to answer a question at all?
Depends what it is.
Sure. Just wondering, what's going on? Where are you at with all this?
I'm sick of it, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Are you going to get vaccinated?
No, fuck no.
Why not?
Because it's an experiment.
Sure. What exactly are you worried about?
Honestly, I kind of don't think I want to answer any more questions.
Fair enough. Cool. Have a good night. G'day, mate. You don't want to answer a question or two, do you?
Who are you?
My name's Jack. I just run an independent podcast.
Do you?
Yeah.
Yeah, no worries. How are you, Jack?
G'day, mate.
Good.
How are you?
Very well.
Cool. So what exactly brings you out tonight?
What, just one, or the many things are, mate? The end of tyranny, the end to this so-called killer virus. We want some proof of this Delta variant. We want some proof. There's no scientific evidence. If they're going to keep locking us down and spreading fear throughout the community, we want to see some proof. You know, businesses have gone broke. Teenage suicides are through the roof. More than the stats on that are higher than COVID's ever taken. I mean, this has just got to stop, and it's great to see so many people out tonight, and I think the majority are starting to awaken, and their sick game's going to be over soon. And Daniel Andrews, we're coming for you, and we won't be happy until we see your fucking head on a plate.
Holy, all right. What's your what do you propose as the way forward?
We just keep the pressure on. The cracks are starting to appear. They're getting more desperate. They're getting their media, their fake news media whores to ramp up the pressure all the time. So they're getting desperate, and they know us. They are scared of us, and we are coming, and there's nowhere for them to hide. So just keep the numbers growing, keep the pressure, make your phone calls to your MPs, just flood their inboxes, flood their emails, and let them know that we're not happy. And Daniel Andrews, you will be arrested, and you will be led away in handcuffs.
What's the main thing about Daniel Andrews that you find so offensive?
He's a fucking coward, mate. He's
Sure.
a coward, he's a liar, he's a thief, and he's tainted of treason.
Do you think he's acting out of good at all, or is he misguided or anything?
No, he's a narcissistic, cowardly communist puppet.
Do you think he's evil?
He's pure evil.
Right.
And he's a coward.
Who's the good guys?
The good guys? The good guys, we can't see them, sir, but they're there.
Cool. Thank you, mate.
You're welcome, mate.
Cheers. G'day, mate. You wouldn't want to answer a couple of questions, would you?
Where are you from?
I just run a podcast myself.
From what perspective?
Trying to not put any of my opinions forward. I've got my opinions, but I'm not here to judge.
Not filmed, yeah?
Sorry?
Not filmed?
Not filmed, no. No name. All good.
Yeah.
What's so obviously, yeah, there's a multitude of reasons of people coming out here. What's your entire perspective on COVID or vaccines or the lot?
The government doesn't have the right to shut people in their houses.
Sure.
They do not have the right. They're taking away our civil liberties. It's wrong, mate. It's so obviously wrong that I can't stand it anymore.
Do you think COVID is real?
COVID is... The debate starts and finishes with the average age of mortality at 83. It finishes there, mate. You know, you look at the Sweden statistics, yes, there is the flu, but when the average age of death is 83 and the mortality over the average of 5 years in England and Sweden is on par, there is no justification for what they're doing. None at all.
Do you think, will you get vaccinated for this flu?
No.
No, right. Do you know anyone that's been killed?
From what? From COVID or from the vaccine?
Either.
Well, I probably took my dad out 2 years ago, but he was old and infirm, yeah? So even if, mate, you get 9 kids a year die from the flu, yeah? We don't shut the economy. Death is tragic, life is death. You cannot shut the economy because of, mate, if the Spanish flu, 1,700 per 100,000 died, yeah? England at the moment, they're on 1,015. It's on par, it's on average. There is no excess mortality. It's bullshit, mate.
So we should just carry on without any restrictions?
You protect the vulnerable. If you're aged, in the same way you do with the flu pandemic, mate, you cannot shut society down. Even if it is real, you can't shut people down, mate. Even if there were 10 people a day die in Victoria, you cannot take away people's freedoms and stop them earning and feeding their family.
If there was a bit more clarity, like maybe they said, cool, give us to the end of the year, and if we've blown it, would you accept that?
Never.
Okay.
I've never worn a mask. I will never adhere to this bullshit, mate.
Cool. Thank you, mate. Have a good night.
You too, mate.
How are you, mate? You look familiar. How are you?
Good.
Cool. What brought you here tonight?
It's a pandemic.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't believe that there's any such disease. They just renamed the flu.
Right.
And yeah, they just want to. Personally, I believe they want to depopulate the planet by 90%. Get rid of all the useless, the stupids, the elderly that what they call useless as well.
How will they depopulate the planet? Are you talking
vaccination,
killing or sterilising?
Sterilising, euthanasia, whatever method they deem worthy, I guess.
Do you think that's what the vaccine is?
Yep.
Why do you think people in power have been vaccinated?
Hey?
Why do you think politicians and billionaires have been vaccinated too?
I don't believe they have.
Right. Think that's just a lie?
I've heard Bill Gates actually say he will never take the vaccination, him or his family. I've seen a recorded clip of that being said. So I don't believe anyone has taken it that are in the elite class.
Sure.
We shouldn't be called the elite, but yeah.
Sure. Awesome, mate. Thank you. Have a good night.
Good.
Take care. G'day, mate. Can I ask you a question or two?
Oh, go for it, man.
Sure. What's brought you out here today?
The lockdown, mate. I don't want to see any more businesses suffer.
Yep. That's an absolutely fair thing. What about the severity of the virus? Do you buy it or not?
Well, no, because where are all the zombies, the dead people on the ground? I mean, it's supposed to be a pandemic. That means it has to be 3 times the normal death rate, and there hasn't been anyone anywhere near that. Even these gigantic breakouts of 200 people suddenly getting the virus. I mean, how many people got influenza? I ask you. How many people have got influenza in the last 2 years?
I can't answer that. No idea.
Well, they wouldn't tell you because it's the same symptoms as COVID.
Right.
Something like 92 symptoms, all contributed to COVID apparently.
Could that come down to the fact that there's been a lockdown and it's been less contagious?
Influenza's in our society everywhere. It comes and goes. It's epidemic, not pandemic.
Right. All right, the police are coming a bit closer. I might leave you. See you, mate.
All right, mate.
Cheers. G'day, mate. Can I ask you a question or two?
Yeah, sure.
Sure. What do you think about people who think this is all rubbish?
No, it's hard to say. Well, they're obviously not looking at it from my perspective.
Yep.
When you say all this rubbish, what do you mean by all this?
Basically, just people protesting against the lockdown.
Yeah.
A huge amount of people think that this is fueling the fire and taking a lot longer for us to get over this. What do you think about that?
Well, my business is suffering.
Yep.
It was 2 ultimatums. Put a noose on my neck tonight because I'm so behind in rent, not getting any rent relief. I've got 0 from the government or be here. I think the general public would prefer me being here.
Sure. Good answer. What do you think of Dan Andrews?
I'm in 2 minds. I don't know him.
You seem quite level-headed, actually. That's a good answer too.
Yeah.
What do you think about the people that are kind of quite radical that are at this protest?
Everyone's got their own views, and once again, we don't know their situation. As my situation is surely different to everyone's.
Yep. Sure. Cool, mate. Have a great night. All the best. G'day, mate. Do you mind if I ask you a question or two?
Yeah, that's all good.
Sure. What do you think about people who think this is all rubbish? The anti-lockdown protests. People that think that this is contributing to the prolonged of the whole effect of this thing.
Oh, mate, I think they've just been watching the news a bit too much. No one would know that there was anything different the last 2 years from the 2 years before if they turned the TV off. So, they're just regurgitating what they've been told.
Do you think that there's any likelihood of these protests having a kind of any effect on the government?
I don't know, mate. To be honest, it's probably unlikely. The media's pretty powerful, and unfortunately, the true story is rarely told about these things. So maybe not, but you never know.
Yeah, will you be getting vaccinated?
No, I won't be.
Why not?
Because I got an immune system.
Sure. Awesome, man. Take care. Have a good night.
United, we'll never be defeated.